Our very own Alicia Kletter called me up and said, let's have some Jewish firefighters speak at Shereth Israel. And I said something to the effect of, yeah, right, find me some. And here they are. I said, if you can find some, I'd love to have them here. And tonight it is such an honor and a privilege to welcome all of you. I didn't know anything about the Ner Tamid Society, but I think if this piece of paper is right, it was just established this year. Is that true? Okay, and you're going to say much more about this, but this is the organization of Jewish firefighters, EMTs, and paramedics. I didn't know that this organization existed, but of course, there are Jews serving people everywhere, and we are in awe and with enormous respect for all that you do for the people of San Francisco and really the world, the kind of courage that you all show every single day. We welcome you and honor you and are really excited and privileged to learn about who you are and what you're doing. So please come up and talk to us about the Ner Tamid Society.
Thank you. No, that's fine. Rabbi Graf, thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Members of the Shereth Israel Board of Directors and the Shereth Israel community, both here and apparently live streaming, thank you so much for this invitation to share Shabbat services with you and the dinner we're all looking forward to. My name is Jeff Covitz. I am a paramedic rescue captain with the San Francisco Fire Department, and I am also the president of the newly formed San Francisco Fire Ner Tamid Society, the SFFD's newest employee group. And a little background on us. In the fire department, there are multiple employee affinity groups. There's the Black Firefighters Association, Asian Firefighters Association, United Fire Service Women, Los Bomberos, and they're great. They do amazing work within the San Francisco community, charity initiatives, training and education, and they advocate for their members within their department. They do wonderful work within the department and in the community. And for years, among some of us, it's kind of a running joke. We're like, well, what about the Jewish Firefighter Association? And the joke was, I mean, you couldn't put enough Jews in the department together to form a minion, let alone, employee group. But it was just a joke. But then October 7th, 2023 happened. And the shocking wave of anti-Semitism and false narratives about Zionism that followed. And suddenly it wasn't so funny anymore. Many of us had firsthand experiences with this. Some of our friends and our family, they couldn't wear their Jewish star or their chai outdoors anymore because they're getting harassed. And we were appalled. And we're back to that. We're back to hiding the fact that we're Jewish. So a core group of us, specifically paramedic Mike Hamilton, who's here, and firefighter paramedic Nate Halpin, who's here, and myself got together, and we wanted to find a way to do something about it in a positive and proactive way. And the idea of this group was formed. And we all agreed that we are not going to hide the fact that we're Jewish. We're just the opposite. We are going to get out in front and publicly celebrate it as a positive counterbalance to the ignorance and the anti-Semitism that we were all experiencing out there. And as David Ben-Gurion famously said, our future does not depend on what others will say, but on what the Jews will do. And in that spirit, we reached out. And we reached out to the Fire Department of New York's Jewish employee group by the same name, Ner Tamid, which many of you know means eternal light. The FDNY's Ner Tamid has been around for over 100 years, and they are well established in New York City and do wonderful work out there, and they have been extremely supportive of our efforts here. So with their assistance, we are now the West Coast chapter of the San Francisco Fire Ner Tamid Society. And we also have members of the National Shomrim here. They are a national organization of Jewish public safety, law enforcement, fire, EMS, and we're happy to have Vadim here representing them as well. Our guiding principles revolve around community service, protection, friendship, and charity. And on the community service side, what we want to do is we want to support the Jewish community in San Francisco and the greater Bay Area with self-reliance and resilience. Now, I'm an amateur historian, not on your Jedi level, Rabbi Jessica, but I do my best. And if history has taught the Jewish people anything, it's that we do very well as a people when we take ownership and responsibility for our own welfare, safety, and preparedness. Conversely, when we have solely relied on others to provide for our well-being, things tend to not work out so very well. So we would like to help you with that. One of the things we want to offer the community are tools to be more self-reliant and resilient. For example, if you didn't know, you live between two major fault lines here. And I'm sure many of you have your earthquake kit at home, and your homes are all earthquake retrofitted, and that's great. But does your kit have all the things you need to be completely self-reliant and self-sufficient for at least 3 days? Okay, if not, that's all right. We can help you with that. All of us in the fire department are at minimum EMTs, and then some of us are at the higher level of training as paramedics. We can teach you CPR. We can teach you how to use an automated external defibrillator. We can teach you how to stop a major bleed and the basics of first aid. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you have an emergency here, we will always be there for you. But the better prepared and resilient you are, the easier it will be for us to help you. We want to offer that and anything else we can do to ensure that the San Francisco Jewish community is prepared and self-sufficient as it can be to face whatever challenges come down the road in this very unpredictable world we find ourselves in. Additionally, we strongly believe that your public safety agencies should reflect the community we serve. San Francisco has approximately 5% of the population that's Jewish, but less than 1% of the fire department. So we'd like to change that. Perhaps some of your children or grandchildren are interested in a career in the fire EMS service or in law enforcement. I think I just sensed a collective cardiac arrhythmia from this section of the congregation. Might need that AED. Look, we think it's the greatest job in the world, but it's very difficult to get hired. We can mentor those who are interested with what they need to do to prepare themselves for this career, help them become ideal candidates, and guide them through the difficult, somewhat arcane hiring process that may lead to wearing one of these badges one day. So I invite you all to reach out to us. We'd be happy to put on a class, CPR, AED, stop the bleed, earthquake preparedness. We want to engage with the San Francisco Jewish community and the San Francisco community at large and showcase the best we have to offer as public servants and as Jews. And in that spirit, we would like to induct Rabbi Zimmerman Groff as an honorary member of the San Francisco Fire Near Tamid Society. And present her with one of our t-shirts. So here, let me show everyone the logo. Thank you, Mike. So our logo was designed by renowned artist Jill Halpin, who's the wife of firefighter paramedic Nate Halpin. So this is it. Here's the back, and that's for you. Yeah, thank you very much. And I wish everybody a great, safe holiday. Chag Sameach and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Wait, before you go anywhere, thank you, first of all, so much for this. Thank you for being here and for all you do. I have a couple of questions because My kids are going to steal this
Okay.
as soon as I
We have
get
more.
home tonight.
We sell them.
First of all, can an 8-year-old volunteer? Because I've got the first volunteer for you, Zachary
Oh,
Graff.
absolutely.
He'll be here
Our
tonight
toy
at dinner.
program so our union, if you didn't know, supports the toy program that we give toys to underprivileged kids around the city, and that's a great organization. So if you're looking for something to volunteer, I highly recommend that, and we can talk about it afterwards if you're interested.
That's good too, but I think he'd prefer to be on a big truck.
Oh, yeah.
The ladder, lights and all that. How many Ner Tamid societies are there in the country? You mentioned New York. What else is out there?
New York is the big one, obviously. There are other Jewish employee groups in public safety agencies around the country. Vadim can probably talk about that a little bit more. The National Shomrim is the national organization, but we're the only other on the West Coast that I'm aware of, Jewish employee group in any public safety agency.
I have to ask you what everyone in this room is thinking. Is there a calendar?
There is. I'm not on it, I can tell you that.
Like with the Jewish holidays and the shofar and all that kind of stuff. No? Okay. Would you please introduce all these heroes in uniform? We are so honored to have you all here.
Is firefighter Josh.
Actually, maybe will you guys in uniform, all of you, please, will you stand so that we can see you and honor you?
So this is firefighter Adriana Wilson.
Who happens to also be a
Ariana.
relative of the Morgan Steves.
Paramedic Mike Hamilton. Paramedic Captain Bob Kuzma. Firefighter Paramedic Nate Halpin. Firefighter Josh Edelman. And Vadim Rotberg from the National Shomrim. So that's us.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for everything that you do. It's extraordinary. We're so grateful to all of you.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for having us tonight. We appreciate that.
Thank you for being with us and for proving all those moms out there who thought that we couldn't have Jewish firefighters wrong. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to Alicia for this great idea. We will continue certainly to educate ourselves and to become more and more prepared so that we know how to